Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Today I'm actually going to do a product review. I was contacted by the folks that represent Runcl, R-U-N-C-L, and asked if I would consider looking at their reel and posting a review, and I do that. I am in no way compensated for this, and whatever I find in here is my own opinion. So let's see what we got in this box here. So the first thing I notice in the box is that we don't have any real specs on the box. And if I'm buying in retail, I kind of like the idea that I know what I'm looking for in terms of real specs. I like it to be clear and consistent. I don't like to have to look at a picture here that says 5.1 gear ratio and metrics for the line measurements when we're accustomed to seeing yards and pound test type thing. It doesn't even mention whether that's braid or if that's monofilament. It does tell me that Runcl provides anglers with the most precise and durable rods, reels, and fishing equipment to ensure anglers are successful on the water every day. This reel is made in China. Please contact customer service by email. I guess there's no number. And go visit the website. Well, I did visit the website because I wanted to see what it is that I'm looking at in this reel. And as we unbox this, I'll give you some of the missing information in here. But it is a 5,000 size reel. The 5,000 size reel is designed for inshore and ocean water or long casting. I requested, when I got contacted, I requested the 5,000 because it's a very popular size in the area that I'm working at. So this is the reel. It's attractive, right? It's got a nice red and black kind of coating to it. It kind of is reminiscent of a Penn Fierce in the coloration of the reel. Certainly turns smooth. It says it's a 10 ball bearing, 9+1. We're going to find out where those are because we're going to take this reel apart and see what's going on inside the reel. And it says that this is a full metal body. It appears to be kind of plastic, but then as I looked further, it said that it's got some kind of a coating on it that's preventing the corrosion. So it might be a plastic coating or phosphorescent coating or something, they said, that makes this lightweight but corrosion resistant. So we'll take a little bit more of a further look. One of the things I just noticed as I'm turning it here, interestingly enough, is it has an override switch, which you don't find on too many of these size reels anymore with the instant anti-reverse. So we have the reel. We're going to go take a closer look at that. Have a reel bag. Looks like we have some information in here. We have what appears to be a business card. Activate your warranty and get a free gift. Neat sticker, born to win. Some kind of animal, probably a bear. Kind of hard to see. Got some claws and what appears to be a fish, so we'll go for the bear at the moment. And we have some information here. It looks like the instruction manual. Congratulating us on the purchase. Some warranty information. It says 1 year limited warranty and lifetime technical support. Not responsible for normal wear and tear and products used commercially. Kind of makes sense. Here's your components. Kind of tells you to get familiar with the reel, how to change it, how to use the anti-reverse lever, and some basic maintenance on it. What I'm not seeing here is contact and support information, which is important to me. Here's the list of the schematic and the parts. This is kind of interesting. There are no part numbers other than a reference number here. Let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ball bearings and an anti-reverse. That makes 10 ball bearings in the reel. Unfortunately, just with a quick look at this, those 10 ball bearings, 6 of them are marginal at best. It appears that we have 2 ball bearings in the handle, 2 ball bearings in the line roller, 2 ball bearings in the spool. Well, what does that leave you? It leaves you 1 ball bearing on each side of the main gear and 1 ball bearing on the pinion gear from what I'm reading there. And that's a basic reel. You don't necessarily need all those other ball bearings in there. Folks ask me all the time, what's a good number of ball bearings? And I say 3. 1 for each side of the main gear and 1 for the pinion, and everything else after that is kind of nice to have, but not necessary to have. And this reel prices out at about $50 to $60 according to the website. It's a 5,000 size reel. We're going to take it apart and we're going to see what makes it go, and we'll go from there. So the initial part of the review, cosmetically, it's got a nice look to it. It's got some holes on the rotor that's going to, or the spool that's going to allow it to shed water as it's bringing the water in on a wet line. It looks like it's protected in terms of some kind of a plastic coat or something over a metal body. That's nice, and it turns smooth. So let's take this apart and let's see how or what it's made of. Right, so if you like these kinds of videos as I'm taking this apart, I'd ask you to subscribe, and if you do subscribe, hit the notification button. I don't do a lot of product reviews. I do mostly reel maintenance and how-to videos on servicing your reels. So you'll see those in addition to the occasional product review. And if you like that, hitting the notifications is going to be best. As I continue to take these pieces and parts off, I want to thank our first responders and essential personnel, everybody involved in keeping us safe during the pandemic. The uniform services, fire, police, rescue, the folks in medical in terms of the hospitals and doctors' offices, long-term care facilities, and the like. Thank you for all it is that you're doing. Well, I took the click ratchet off after I removed the spool. I did a quick look and noticed that this case goes up underneath here, so you can't remove the side plate case to get a better view of what's going on there without taking the rotor off. And the rotor is held in by a retaining clip here and a rotor nut. So let's go ahead and take that off, see what we got underneath here. Now, all I should be seeing underneath here is a anti-reverse and a ball bearing for the pinion gear. That would be about it. Okay, this comes off in a non-traditional clockwise manner. That's because that's the direction that your rotor is spinning, so you won't spin that loose, even though they have that tie-down clip on there as well. This should allow me to remove that. And underneath here we have a cover that completely seals the bearing assembly, and that's probably good because you have openings on the rotor here where the water could come in, so you don't want the water to come in and just kind of splash over your bearing assembly. I kind of like that feature. So I'm not seeing anything extraordinary at the moment in terms of, wow, this takes reel manufacture to the next level. What I'm seeing is kind of in line with a reel that is priced in that $50 to $60 range. And those reels are generally intended for what I'll call the weekend or occasional fisherman. It's not generally used as a daily fishing reel. They're there to be used, and they take the precautions generally to make sure that those don't fail as you're working on the reel. Here's your anti-reverse and your bearing assembly. I'm looking at the bearing. It's a shielded, not a sealed bearing, so over time that could get a little noisy, particularly if it's a occasional use reel. You need to make sure when you're dealing with reels like these that you wash them off and keep them clean after usage, because if they go into storage for any period of time, water's going to set in and it's going to be to the detriment of the reel. It looks like there's 4 side plate screws on this one. We'll take those out. And I'm laying them on my bench because I want to make sure that if there's a different size in the screw, that it's identified, and that those the screws go back in the right location if there's a small one to be in there. So I had to visit the website. That kind of bothers me a little bit if I'm in a store location, a retail location. I haven't seen these covered in retail, but there was a note in there about wholesaling and retailing. Customers to please contact them. So you don't have the specs on the box, and if you're in that store environment, you're probably not going to the website to get the additional information on this reel. So you're going to have to kind of be at the mercy of what your gut feel is on it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this video, to try and kind of take some of the surprise out of that. Well, this should just come off now. There we go. So we have a little shim washer that goes on the main gear. And from that quick look that I had on the schematic, this is pretty much the reel. I'm going to remove that little set screw. This looks to be an aluminum gear. I think I saw that as a spec on the website. I'll just take a quick look here. We're going to pull this axle shaft, pull the main gear. The main gear is a traditional gear that drives the oscillation gear behind. So we have a pinion gear, we have a ball bearing in the back, we have the oscillation gear, we have the crosswind block. Nothing new or unusual or cutting edge about that. It's a tried and true design that's been around for a long time. All right, let's close this back up. Go ahead and put that axle shaft back in. So we have a tried and true design. We have a metal case that's got some kind of coating on it that's going to keep it from corrosion. I think that's a plus there. We have 10 ball bearings, but I think that 6 of them are just kind of superficial. We have the basic design of a reel with the 3 ball bearings, one on each side of the main gear and one in the pinion gear. We have the instant anti-reverse up top there. That's kind of the price to play poker these days. And we have these shielded but not sealed bearings on both sides. We can go close that up. So in the $50 to $60 price range, this is, I imagine, competitive. What I haven't seen, and I didn't see it on the website and I didn't see it in the brochures there, is parts availability, service centers, and how to fix a reel if there's a problem with that reel. That's important to me. It may not be important to everybody. A lot of people will view a reel like this as a disposable reel, and if it breaks, they just move on and probably don't buy the reel again if it breaks. But they don't seem to be as demanding as I am. I like to buy a reel for the long term, and my long term is I want parts availability. This reel did say that you had a limited warranty on it. There was a contact center for the warranty as far as filling out that card and the like. And there's a lack of information about how to order parts. And that's a little bit concerning, given that they say that the normal wear and tear is not covered by the warranty. Well, this one says it has a good drag system. We'll be up there in a moment, but it says it's got an incredible 44 pounds of drag or something like that. It's a big drag system from what I read and what I see on the parts diagram there. But if your drag washers wear, it doesn't tell you where to go get the drag washers, for example. Little things happen to reels, especially if this is an occasional use reel. People, for whatever reason, tend to lose the handle or lose the handle screw. Those exterior pieces tend to fall off. You can lose the drag adjuster button. Where do you get one of those? Those are the types of questions I ask when I kind of consider a reel. Now, a lot of this stuff is interchangeable for whatever reasons with other reels, but that's not the point. I like to know what I'm getting in a reel before I make that investment. Okay, the reel's back together there. I'm going to go ahead and put the rotor back on. It does spin nice and smooth. It's as advertised. It does have this protective coating on it. I don't know because, well, we're at the beginning of this rather than the end of this. We don't know, is that coating kind of subject to chipping or bubbling with UV rays on it all the time, those kinds of things. I'll trust their engineering at the moment. It's kind of a little bit hard to say. All right, just lining that up so that I can put the retention clip back on. Then we're going to go up top, take a look at what's in that that drag stack there. Got one more piece to put here. So if you have questions on this reel or any reel in particular, if you'd like to learn more, if you maybe you're working on a reel and something just doesn't look right or feel right, and you're beyond kind of helping with that, maybe I can help you if you leave that question. This is a nice smooth turning reel. Okay, put that click ratchet back on. Put that little spool adjuster. This adjuster's here to adjust the height for the line lay. Oops, let's go put that on. Getting ahead of myself. Let's go put the handle back on. It's an interchangeable handle. So you want to go righty or lefty on this one, that's okay. And like I said, sometimes boat vibration and other things cause these little screw knobs to loosen and kind of fall off. That's why I like to know where I can get replacement parts. It happens on all of them. It happens on the very expensive reels in addition to the less expensive ones, but that's a nice turning reel there. Okay, let's pull that drag stack out here. There's a clip. Just got lucky with hand strength there. Then there's a stack, and I expect to see a whole bunch of, yep, even more, right? Yeah, there's a whole host of these, so that's why you're getting the max drag. These look like carbon fiber washers, and we have two bearings in this spool. So let's put those back in here. These alternate. There's hex washers which hold the spool, and there's keyed washers which are round washers which hold the axle shaft, and when you press down and compress all of these, they do hold each to each other, and that's how you get the drag without the turning. So this is quite a stack of drag washers here. Get that clip in. So overall observations, it's a nice reel. I think it's probably priced for the features and functions about where it should be priced. I have a little bit of a concern regarding parts availability. I don't like the layout of the box where it doesn't give you the specifications and it calls for you to go to the website. I always think of this in the secondary, so I've bought the reel, I've thrown out the box or the paperwork behind it. Now I need support because something broke. How do I find that support? I always wonder about that. But otherwise, I think it's probably priced right where it should be priced. It's a nice reel. I think it's great for occasional use or beginners. The bail seems substantial. Doesn't seem like it's going to bend out of shape too quickly. It's kind of got a bail similar to a Penn Fierce. It's a wider metal thing. I think the protective coating is good for the outside of it. And overall, it's a nice reel at the price that it's at. So I hope you've enjoyed the review of this reel and watched me take apart and learned a little bit about this reel. And if you did, please like the video. If you want to see more, please subscribe. In all cases, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. And have a great day. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle.